Hello everyone, once again, happy Hanukkah, and I hope you enjoy this video number 4. Today I want to share a story with you. It's a story from a wonderful book which I have been enjoying for years, 8 Tales for 8 Nights, Stories for Hanukkah by Peninnah, Schram, and Stephen Rosman. The story that I'm going to share is a story about the legendary Hershele of Ostropol. Hershele was known as a prankster. He was always looking for a new way to earn a few kopecks. Not that he had any intention of working for a living, heaven forbid. Rather, he earned by his wits and by his tongue. After all, he had been appointed jester to Rabbi Baruch, and he had to keep finding new ways and words to lift the rabbi out of his melancholia. But he also had to invent ways to match wits with the rabbi in order to get his wages. More often than not, as a matter of fact, he did not get paid. "My name isn't Hershele for nothing," he would say to himself. "Take advantage of me, and you'll pay dearly for it." What would Hershele do? Doing what he did best, he would tell the rabbi a good story with such convoluted logic, yet with such a clear message, that in the end, the rabbi became shamed into paying Hershele his wages. Well, it was Hanukkah time, and Hershele was thinking very hard about his next few kopecks, particularly where would they come from? Holidays are especially good times for earning a few kopecks, he thought, and there are certainly plenty of holidays. Soon it will be Hanukkah. Hanukkah, of course! What does every Jew need for Hanukkah? A menorah. So Hershele set out to find a tin maker who would make a bag full of menorahs for him, all the same size and design. Finally, he found one who unbelievably agreed to his terms. The tin maker would give Hershele the menorahs on consignment. After Hershele got paid, the tin maker would get paid. During the last few days before Hanukkah, Hershele went around town selling his menorahs. On the morning before Hanukkah, with only a few menorahs left, Hershele entered the shop of a wealthy shopkeeper who was as stingy as he was rude. Hershele pulled a menorah from his bag and placed it on the table. "It's time to buy the menorah," he said, "and this is the finest one I have, especially suited for such a prominent citizen like yourself. I have saved this one just for you." The wealthy shopkeeper barely glanced up from his books and replied, No, I'm not interested. I have a menorah from last year, and that will do just fine. My wife and I will find it, and we will prepare it for lighting." But Hershele was not to be put off by a simple no. "Do you like latkes?" he asked. "I love latkes," replied the shopkeeper, patting his large stomach. "Well then, can you imagine you and your wife searching all afternoon for the menorah and discovering, when you finally find it, that one of the candle holders has broken off? Then what would you do? I'll tell you what you would do. You would have to search through the town for another menorah. And who knows if you could find one just before the holiday. By then it would be almost dark, and then you would not have time to peel the potatoes and to grate them and to make the beautiful potato latkes you love so much. And what kind of yontif would it be without lighting the candles and without latkes? Think how sorry you would be that you didn't buy this menorah from me." Well, by now, all the shopkeeper wanted to do was to get rid of Hershele, so he bought the menorah. Hershele quickly left the shop and rushed to the shopkeeper's house. When the shopkeeper's wife came to the door, Hershele was standing there with the menorah in his hand. I just came from your husband's shop, and he asked me to tell you not to look for last year's menorah. He said that you should just buy a new one from me." So Hershele held the menorah out to the shopkeeper's wife, and well, what could she do? She bought the menorah from Hershele. That evening, the wealthy man arrived home with the menorah he had bought from Hershele, safely bundled in his layers of paper. When he unwrapped it, he carried it into his living room for his wife to see. And there she stood, holding menorah exactly like the one he carried. "Where did you get that menorah?" questioned the husband. "From Hershele, of course. Just as you told me to," answered the wife. "I told you? Who told you?" The husband shouted, "That Hershele! He's tricked both of us into buying from him." The wealthy man motioned angrily to his servant and said, "Find Hershele and bring him to me." Well, the servant went to Hershele's house, and finding him there, he said, "My master wants to see you immediately. Come quickly before it's time to light the Hanukkah menorah." "Oh, your master must want to buy a menorah from me," said Hershele. "My menorahs are the best there are." "But why did he wait till the last minute to buy one?" "By the time I go to his house and sell him a menorah and return home, it will be past the time to light the candles. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you just give me the money and I will give you the menorah and you can take it to your master." And that's what happened. And that, my friends, is how Hershele taught us to sell a menorah. Hanukkah wicks total 9. The candles to light are 8. The days of the week are 7. The latkes to eat are 6. The pennies to give are 5. The sides of a dreidel are 4. Menorahs the miser bought are 3. The blessings over the candles are 2. And Hershele, master trickster, is 1. And now the tale is done. Chag Urim Sameach.